We look like two guys who are definitely competing for a woman's attention.
I don't understand why you
What is up, Watch Fam? I'm Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
I'm Michael, executive producer of the new T&H podcast.
Yeah, well, listen, a lot of big changes going on at T&H.
Yes.
We're in a lull of work, so we try to change everything.
Let's ruin everything we've
It's never been busier. Work is extremely busy for everybody.
This is true.
But we decided, you know what? We need to breathe some fresh life into the channel, into this entire business.
Yes.
On the video end. So we're going to be doing that. We're doing it now. This is going to be a shorter episode. We're no longer doing these full live episodes on YouTube. They're still not going to be quick. They're going to be a little bit lengthy.
Oh, yeah, we'll take a time.
You know, listen, you never shut up.
That's true. It's true.
Speaking of which, excuse me. Pardon me while I...
Canes me out of the way.
But we're going to be releasing all these, like the rest of this episode is released right now on anywhere you could find a podcast.
Yes.
The Theo and Harris podcast on Spotify.
Search Theo and Harris.
For instance.
Yes.
So full, hour-long conversation about vast majority watches, also a lot of other tangential stuff. Today's episode is sponsored by our very dear friends over at Whatnot.
This is great.
Mike, tell them what Whatnot is, and then we're moving on.
Whatnot is an online community marketplace where you can not only bid on things, or if you're in our live that's coming up, get things given away to you.
Yep.
But you can also talk with us, see us live, ask us questions.
Ask us
really
questions,
do
baby.
anything that you want.
So we'll talk more about Whatnot later, but download the app, bookmark our show, talk more about Whatnot later.
Yes.
Last thing before we get into the topic, and the topic is the Rolex Hulk, because I finally got one.
Yeah.
Got one from my friend. I stole
borrowed it from my friend.
Borrowed it from my friend.
He goes to a different school.
He goes to, you would know him. Another thing we started to do, giveaways. We're going to do more giveaways. We're doing them on Whatnot. A lot of success there. Who would have figured that you guys would like free shit? So what we're going to do is do one giveaway per month for the foreseeable future. Probably 6 months, maybe a year. If it keeps going well, why would I even stop? So we're going to give you away watch stuff, but also other just fun, expensive shit, right?
Like Gucci loafers?
We're like taking my credit card to the mall. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to give away a pair of Gucci loafers. I want to give away anything expensive.
Moscot glasses. Everyone
Moscot glasses. The tints. I love them.
Yep.
I want to. Are these jeans expensive?
Yeah, oh yeah.
How much were those jeans?
$280.
$280. We're gonna give those away. I'm serious.
The ones on my body.
We're gonna pick a winner. Okay. We're gonna pick a winner. You need to subscribe. You need to comment, and you need to hit the bell for the Theo and Harris videos. If you do those things, you will enter to win every month. And you can win twice for all I fucking care.
Who cares? It's random. We push a button.
We literally push a button. And then we're going to email back and forth, and I'm going to say, cool, this month was, okay, you could pick between these three things.
Yep.
Which one do you want? Order your fucking size. What size are you? You're a size 11 shoe? Perfect. You want Gucci loafers? Great. You want Content Projects? Great.
Yep.
You want a $700 shirt that's ridiculously overpriced? Fine. I disagree with you, but fine. That's what we're going to be doing. We're just giving away shit.
Yep.
And, thank God I'm doing well. All right? Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Hopefully this makes you do more well.
Yeah, in theory, in theory,
Yeah.
So anyway, like the video, subscribe, comment down below. You've got to subscribe and comment. Hit the bell as well, although I would never know if you did that. But I will know if you subscribe and comment down below.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to be picking out the winner. The first one will be a month from now.
Perfect. Done.
All right?
Yep.
So boom. Giving away crazy shit.
Set a reminder in 1 month to pick the winner.
Well, you should really do it in 3 weeks because we'll have to record in advance.
Oh, you're right.
So we're going to be picking the winner in
Set a reminder in 3 weeks to pick the winner.
See? Siri just did it. Great. What are we talking about today? We're talking about Rolex Hulk Submariner.
Today we're talking about the Rolex Hulk Submariner, and out of all things, we're comparing it to an Oris pointer date.
So basically, I wanted to pick a watch to contrast this with.
Yes.
That is similar in fundamental ways, right?
Yep.
Same function, time, and date.
Yep.
Right. They're both historical watches. These are collections that have been living on for quite a long time, right?
Yep.
Nearly 100 years in one case.
Yep.
But they're on polar ends of the price spectrum. But it gets tricky, right? Because the Submariner is over 20,000.
Yes.
The Oris is under 2,000.
Yep.
So it's interesting to see what are you getting, what are the differences in color and proportion.
Right.
Putting these two watches next to each other, they do the same thing. They do the same thing. but there's a big delta in price. So I picked this watch out from the Theo and Harris shop. This watch is for sale in the Theo and Harris shop. That's not why I picked it. It was available to me because I own it.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested in buying this Oris, you can go ahead and take a look at the Theo and Harris shop and take a look at the photos. The condition is fantastic. But if you're not interested in buying this Oris, take a look in general. We are constantly listing watches from Rolex and Omega and sometimes Patek Philippe. We just had a Calatrava last week.
AP.
A ton of stuff in the Theo and Harris shop.
And if you want to hear the other topics, we're talking about the technology of Zinn and, of course, the Tudor Ranger. That, once again, is on the podcast. So check that out.
Theo and Harris podcast on Spotify, so you guys can go in your cars and listen.
So the Rolex Submariner was first introduced in 1953 in a 37mm case, which is a very small case.
Very small case.
This watch I'm wearing right now is Seiko, tiny case. It's 38.5.
Amazing.
Even smaller than this.
And guess what it had? No crown guards, baby.
No crown guards. Oh,
no crown guards.
Which
Little
is...
crown and big crown. Big crown obviously became famous with James Bond.
Yep.
But no crown guards, right? Again, keep in mind, tool watch, right?
Yep.
And the crown guards were introduced later, I believe, in 1959.
Okay.
Okay, with the 5512. And while it wasn't technology, because it's not technology,
Yep.
but it was a functional design, right?
Yep.
I don't know how often crowns were getting damaged. I don't know if that's a real issue.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know if that's a
I've
real
never
big
seen
issue.
on some very old no, because the crown's still there. I've never seen a crown get knocked off.
So I guess the question is, like, was it a design thing? Or were they saying, you know what, in the rare case that it does happen,
Yeah.
well, Rolex has got your back.
Well, because Omega, the first Speedmaster, also didn't
The
have
Zodiac
crown guards.
Seawolf doesn't. Right?
Zodiac's like,
Because they predated the Submariner.
oh, right. I was like, Zodiac's like, wait, why are you hitting on this? A beautiful vintage Rolex ad that's just bashing the Zodiac. Okay, that makes
Remember
total
the
sense.
Porsche ad? Porsche, because or Porsche. I had to say Porsche.
Because you own a Porsche.
Because I don't own a, my mom, not
mom,
me.
yeah.
Porsche, because you didn't, when you were a kid or whatever, you didn't one day dream of owning a fucking Mitsubishi. I think I added, but it's right there.
No, the Germans would do that.
Yeah, but that's how you sell a product, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, pull the fucking trigger. You didn't think about owning a Mitsubishi. Don't do that to yourself.
No. Me in the dealership trying to buy a Toyota.
You're a Camry.
I'm like, what?
Like what?
What are you guys talking
Do you
about?
ever dream of owning this car? It says the salesperson that just this person is in no position to be giving you financial advice, and he's like,
He's hitting me in the chest.
he's trying to sell you the Bronco. You're like, what?
I don't need the Bronco. It's a lot of space for me. I live in the city.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, I was saying the Speedmaster also introduced crown guards at a later point, so maybe that shows it was an issue, but who knows?
It wasn't something then. Crown guards weren't a thing, man.
I know. But the first 40mm Submariner, which is the size of this watch, was released in 1959, also the 5512.
Yep.
A lot of big improvements, which we see with Rolex a lot. They release something, like the first Explorer 2, and then they look at everything they did wrong, and the second iteration is the iteration that usually pops. The first one everybody likes because it's the first. The second one is like, we added crown guards, we changed the dial, we changed how we did the dial, we changed the contrast.
Because now they've got research. Now they've got,
Exactly.
you've got some battle-tested watches out there.
Exactly.
Now, the 5512 case, slightly changed, but basically remained very, very similar, basically the same,
Yep.
up until the mid-2000s, I believe 2006, when Rolex introduced the super case and the ceramic bezels.
You like the super case?
How about this? Do you think this watch looks good on my wrist?
Fantastic.
You do?
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I sometimes wonder if it's too big. I love it. I love a super case Rolex. We'll get to this later, but I'm very mad this is not my watch. I like this watch very, very much.
I say this every time you talk about the Hulk. If you are wearing a Hulk and Christian is around you,
Can I try on your one?
you'll be quiet. And what he's doing right now, you see? He just looks down.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I just twist it.
Yeah, and you twist it, and the conversation doesn't matter. No matter what someone says to you, you'll be like, "Oh, I really
like this watch.
I really like this watch."
When I was a young boy, when I was a young lad, my mom put out clothes for me to go to school. It was like second grade, first grade.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not wearing that. I don't like green.
Yeah.
So my mother said, okay, Christian, do you know how I know that's not true?
Yeah.
And I said, how? She said, green's your favorite color. It wasn't. She lied. I said, of course it is.
I am so.
I know it is. Thank you for reminding me.
Mom, I am so sorry for that temporary lapse in
Yes,
judgment.
and my green's been my favorite color since.
Green's my favorite color.
Oh,
I know.
So
What? You say I don't think so?
I don't think so. You're Nick Turturro. I'm John Turturro. There's a difference.
You don't like green. What? Green's my favorite color. Okay.
You get that whole Nick and John Turturro thing? John Turturro's great.
I have no idea what that is.
Nah, never mind.
Never heard of those people in my life.
John Turturro? How about Aida Turturro?
I eat a lot of food and gain weight, and then I run and it goes away.
Was that an Aida Turturro joke?
I don't know.
All right.
Okay,
So
so-
they kept the same case in the mid 2000s. I like the
Yes.
super case. I think this fits well on my wrist.
I think it fits very well. A millimeter smaller, maybe, perfect, 2 millimeters. But I would never look at that watch on someone's wrist and say that's too big on your wrist.
Tell me why, Michael, Rolex made this watch in green.
Jeez.
For real. To answer the f***ing question.
Oh, is it a real thing?
I'm just dude. Just tell me it's Rolex's
Keep
color.
leading me on.
Just say it's Rolex's. Just tell
It's
me.
Rolex's color. That doesn't do anything special when you dive.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You don't see it better. It's
I'm
just,
the anti-Rolex salesman in the corner. I'm like,
it's stupid.
this one's blue, so you can't see it when you swim.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Rolex's color.
Yep.
So this is a very Rolex.
Yep.
Now, we were talking about this before. What was the first green Rolex?
The first was a date the Stella Dial series.
I believe that to be true.
I would agree. I can't think of anything else.
There haven't been many green Rolexes in history.
Yeah.
Right? Again, I'm sure I'm going to miss some, but we'll start a little bit of a list right now.
Yep.
You've got Stella dials, and they came in a couple of variations.
Yes.
Okay, Stella dials were the enamel coated, not pure enamel coated day dates of the 1970s. Another green Rolex, keeping it in the day date and date just family, were the malachite
Yes, the stone. Yep.
Rolexes.
Yep.
We didn't see it in sub. We didn't see it in Daytona unless one of those like pastel ones may have been green. Maybe a shade of green. Doesn't really count.
You're right.
We saw I call it the Jackie Stewart day date on what was predominantly marketed on a leather strap, an alligator strap.
Yep.
Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
Green sunburst dial also came in cherry, also came in like a bronze.
Yep.
Very cool watches. Those are the day dates of my childhood, which is kind of funny.
They look like deep, rich woods. Like that's what they should be paired with.
Very cool.
Yep.
Then obviously we had the Daytona that came out, the John Mayer Daytona.
Yep.
Oyster Perpetual.
I was
Couple
going to
years
say
ago.
OPs, the
OP.
day date.
Irish green, or like that green and orange OP a couple of years before the new green one came.
I sent you that yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think that is the full list of green Rolexes. I'm sure someone's going to call me wrong. I'm sure they did something with stone with the
There's
Cellini at some point.
new release day date too.
The new release date as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the history. So Rolex tries to incorporate, this color. Oh, I mean, another time that Rolex used green in their design was, I'm missing a big one. The yellow gold GMTs from the mid 2000s with the super case,
Yes.
black bezel, green dial.
Yep.
And a lot of GMTs, the black GMTs, had the green hour hand. I'm serious.
I know.
I'm taking this seriously.
I was
this
just
is my job.
I was waiting for you to stop so I could say, "Oh, dude," and the box is green.
You remember that in Animal House when Donald Sutherland and the bell goes off and everyone leaves class and he's still talking and like you have to do your homework and no one pays him any mind. He goes, "This is my job." No one gives a shit.
No one ever does.
Yeah.
So, anyways, a lot of green Rolexes. This one specifically, the 116610 LV. I'm
Yep.
sure people don't say it like that. Was introduced in 2010. The one specifically on your wrist.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, you probably know this already, but 3135 caliber, 48-hour power reserve, 300 meters water resistance, oyster steel, aka 904L steel, plus or minus 2 seconds a day.
Incredible watch.
Oh yeah.
At retail price back in the day. Oh, obviously now the Starbucks has a green bezel, not a green dial.
Yes.
Someone else is like, I said that 3 minutes ago.
Someone already commented that. They're like,
Oh my God. What do you do for? How about I come to your work and heckle you?
I have to edit my comment. Do you know what it's like to post a video at 7 in the morning and get heckled from 7:15 on?
Amazing. So someone made it 15. You made it 15 minutes without making a mistake.
What?
You made it 15 minutes in a video without making a mistake. So at retail price, which was probably in the $8,000 or $9,000, I think the $8,000 range at the time.
Yep.
Obviously, now these watches hit a height of around $30,000, $31. I saw listing prices into the mid 30s.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I think realistically, some of these were $30,000.
Wow.
3 months ago.
Wow.
And now they're softer, about 23,000. They're still listed up into 27, 30, 35, but I think the realistic price right now is about $23,000. I texted my buddy a couple of months ago when they were at 30, complaining about it. I was like, I still can't believe I don't own this fucking watch.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he's like, are you fucking stupid or are you fucking stupid? Just buy the watch. Do you have the money? I said, don't be facetious.
Yeah.
Don't mock me.
Yeah.
Don't mock me. He goes, good. Then stop talking about it and buy it. It doesn't matter. That's classic, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't buy it, and I'm glad because I saved $7,000 and still don't own the watch.
But like if you told him that, he'd be like, exactly. And that's my point.
That's my point.
Don't pull the trigger when someone else tells you to pull the trigger. Pull it on
Think
your own
for yourself,
accord.
sheep.
And you're like, oh, he's so good.
He's so right.
I have so much to learn from this guy.
I love you so much. He's out there. He's watching.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, so I didn't buy the watch, but I do love it very much.
The Submariner is the quintessential dive watch. It's slim, triple crown.
And that's why I love it. I want to go diving.
Yeah, I know. That's your big thing. You love diving.
Yep.
Especially with this outfit today, it's like you need a green bezeled watch, not a green dial watch. You need the bezel because you can't tell the dial.
We've been posting my outfits every day on Instagram, so go follow us on Instagram at Theo.
Please follow us on Instagram because the giveaways we could do followers there too.
Yeah, we could do that too. But for right now, just follow over here and
That's a
comment.
stupid idea.
Subscribe and comment, and you can enter the winner of the giveaway.
I'll never say that again.
What should we give away, guys? Comment down below. Anything, every month is going to be somewhere between like $300 and $1,000, just depending on how cool it is.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Those two numbers are the same to me, I'm kidding. Relax.
I'm kidding. There's a delta. Okay.
In theory, they are different. I am aware.
Okay, but anyways. There's not a lot to be said about the Submariner that hasn't been said. It is one of those watches that...
Oh my God. Including that, by the way.
I know.
Including that exact
there's no way out of it. But the thing is, like, seeing the Hulk versus any other one, you're just like, oh my God, what a flawless
Look, can I
watch.
clarify something?
Yeah, of course.
The other day when we did a video and I was on my phone, you said it was a gag. You said it would be funny to a degree because I was doing stuff and you're like, don't worry, it'll be funny.
Yeah.
People thought I was the biggest piece of shit for that.
Well, people think that anyways. They're looking for things.
I was like, Michael thought it was funny. I mean, I was doing stuff, but I said, I'll put it down. Michael's, no, this will be funny. It's a gag.
Yeah. No one found it funny.
Yeah.
And then if I comment, I told Christian to do this, they're like, sheep. Christian told you to say that.
Yeah.
Like, he really...
Michael wants me to get a tattoo of... never mind. He's like, dude, it's funny. It's a gag.
It's funny.
It's a gag.
Some horrible thing.
Dude, shave your head.
I hate Jenny L. across your forehead.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a gag. It's a gag.
Jenny L's like, what?
I was like, maybe there's a language gap here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so before we continue this conversation, a word from our sponsor today, Whatnot. Whatnot is an online community marketplace. I love it. You can go on as a user and engage with creators like us this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
And a million other different people that are very, very cool and interesting, educational, entertaining.
Yep.
So the engagement level is cool, but you also can bid on stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the people are auctioning off, whether that's a watch in this case or leather. We do a ton of giveaways on Whatnot every week. I give away literally hundreds of dollars in leather goods on Whatnot. I'm doing that again this Thursday at 5 p.m. Michael and I are going to have a ton of fun. I am currently in Italy, so I'm going to be Whatnotting from Italia.
Hello.
Hello, I'm in Italy. And you're going to be in
Canada.
No, were you 28th?
No, I'm just
No. You're going to be in Canada this week.
Yep.
See, I know your schedule.
He knows where I'm going.
So anyway, I highly recommend you guys come over. It's a blast. It's super fun to just answer questions, ask questions, shoot back and forth. It's like a big dialogue between us and you.
Yeah.
And I think it's great.
Yeah.
Not to mention the giveaways don't hurt. So go ahead, download the Whatnot app. We are in the watch section, obviously.
Yes, sir.
And you can bookmark our show. It's going to be awesome.
Agreed.
So Whatnot this Thursday, 5 p.m. Do not miss it. Okay, so now let's compare this $23,000 to $30,000 Submariner, a watch that really is worth like $8,000.
Yep.
okay, to an under $2,000 watch from Oris. Tell me something about this watch, my man.
Okay, so same case size as the Hulk. What do you think in terms of wrist presence?
Which one wears larger?
Yeah.
Good question. Obviously, they're very different because because one's a Rolex. No, it's because the Submariner bezel just it changes a lot of the proportion.
Exactly.
Right? I think also the width is very different.
Yep.
Meaning at the lugs.
Yeah.
So these watches wear very, very differently. This one does wear better.
Better.
Yeah, it wears better.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, on my wrist, for my taste, this watch it's a little bit more slender. It's just a little bit more appropriate. It's less bold though, right?
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
And they get into color, but we'll get into color in a second. But even in the shape, we're gonna get into like different greens. But even in the shape, right? That super case design, I don't think we can understate how bold it is. That was a very bold oyster.
Yeah.
The Submariners, are you making fun of me?
No, it's just a weird sentence.
It is.
I know. That was a very bold oyster.
It's a bold oyster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from a design perspective, it's very bold.
Oh,
This is not as bold.
Not at all.
But I do love some of the details here, like the bezel. Right?
Yep.
That is a very unique. Those
Coinage
are called
bezel.
coinage bezel.
Yep.
Exactly. I happen to love it.
Little background of this watch, as we know, 40 millimeters. It is a big crown, both in name and in actual crown. This specific one in the TNH shop is the D.26286HB-RAG. It's a limited edition watch inspired by a World War II Swiss plane, the D.26. So, fantastic big date. It uses Oris's 754 with a 38-hour power reserve. Fantastic, bulletproof, and it's excellent. The fun part is they're both showing dates, but obviously the big difference is Oris is a pointer date, so there's literally a, I guess, fourth stick or fourth hand that points to the date around the actual dial. There's no date window.
And both of these watches, while new watches, relatively speaking, they are pulling right from history.
Yep.
Right? The pointer crown date is a heritage watch. It
Yep,
goes back
that's correct.
to the 1930s.
1938. Yep.
So 1938. So the history of this watch actually predates the Submariner by quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's a very, the pointer date, the date is the complication, but the implementation of it is very delicate. Not in terms of durability, maybe on vintage watches it is, but in terms of aesthetics, very, very cool to have a very long hand with like a half moon shape, like holding the date each day.
And now here we've got these cathedral hands.
Gorgeous.
Right? Versus Mercedes hands.
Yes.
What do you think? This is much more ornate.
Yep, I was going to say, I think the cathedral hands, that's no holding back from their heritage style. They look old, they look like they come from the 30s.
Yep.
Very ornate. With the lume, it looks great, especially in the dark.
I agree.
I think it definitely does scream, this is an old watch.
Yes.
This is a watch from something old.
Right, and it's not a sporty design. The cathedral hands are not a sporty design.
Exactly.
The Mercedes hands are inherently a sporty design.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why, obviously, Rolex didn't use Mercedes hands, I mean, apart from very, 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 very rare or unique, custom occasions, on non-sport models.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
They didn't use it on day dates. Those were different hands. And they were a couple different hands for day dates.
Yeah.
Whereas the Submariner only got one hand in modernity. Earlier on, they did use different hands. They used pencil hands, things like that.
I love when the big brands were new and they were just like, I don't know.
Maybe we'll make it honeycomb.
Yeah. Yeah. People
I
like,
don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, cut it. Cut production.
You think if we make it honeycomb?
That's Hans Will's story.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only other thing with this watch, this is obviously a very different purpose watch.
Churchill was bad, right? Every globalist now.
God. Sometimes I see you prepping for a joke that's just veering off topic, but you can throw your political view into it, and you're like, oh, this is going to be a good one.
I like the idea that Hans Wilsdorf was smoking weed.
Oh,
he
yeah.
didn't.
Well, we don't know.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe he did. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, these are two very different watches in function. Obviously, the Submariner, like I said, 300 meters water resistance. This is 50 meters, which I just read another study about I forget what it's called, dynamic water pressure, where people are like, well, if it's 50 meters and you move your hand, that overloads the watch. There's another study, it's always being debunked, that barely adds like a meter of pressure when you're moving your hands underwater. So you probably could go in the water with this. I wouldn't, just because...
You probably could.
You could. I wouldn't, just because I don't feel as safe. It's a mental block more than the watch's fault.
Yeah. I love this watch. Obviously, in color, we've got more of a matte military color, whereas the Rolex is this very rich sunburst.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And
I like it, though.
A bit more saturated green. on the Rolex.
Oh yeah, this is paler.
Yeah.
And of course we've got green in the lume as well, whereas this lume is pure white. Of course, when it glows, it's green.
Yeah.
But otherwise, pure white there, and green lume pips here with obviously the red hand. I like this watch a whole bit. Again, obviously it's available in the Theo and Harris shop. But that wasn't the point of this wasn't just to do that. The point of this really was to compare again a green time and date watch from two polar ends of the spectrum, and just you put them next to each other just to say again it's not a particularly unique idea.
We're implementing
it's cool.
a lot of watch reviews onto the channel, so we're just grabbing watches that you have in the vault and seeing what we can do
Exactly.
with them.
We're just gonna review more watches for you guys. Again, if you want to listen to the full podcast, we went on for like an hour or 45 minutes about other watches from Tudor and other watches from Zinn and a whole bunch of other tangential. I highly recommend you do the full podcast. The full podcast is available anywhere you can find a podcast, including Spotify.
Yeah, so Spotify, Apple Music, whatever.
Theo and Harris. So just go check it out. Go subscribe and listen. We're hysterical on the podcast. Podcast is totally different.
Oh yeah, it's very totally different. Very different.
It's just me and it's like you and I in a car.
Yeah,
just driving.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep.
So anyways,
that's
it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all very soon. Go take a look at the Theo and Harris Watch Shop for your own health. I'm not threatening you.
Yeah.